Hi guys, today is such an exciting day because we are doing, how do I say it? This is content for my heart. This is my child. I'm so excited. So first of all, this is Martha. My name is Martha Inyuma. I'm a fire partner here at TSAVO. And if you don't know yet, I don't know which rock you're under, but TSAVO is just turning 10 years. And so we are starting segments to actually truly enable you. So beyond our apartments, we have stories to tell as TSAVOites, as our investors, as anyone who has dealt with TSAVO deeply as an investor. So this year we are starting a new segment. Well, it's new in TSAVO, but it's an existing segment. So if you go somewhere, you'll see farm. And it's exciting because this is my child, but this is TSAVO's. We've gotten to this point because of what TSAVO has impacted in me, in my personal life. And I think we're here to have fun, to engage, to learn from one another. Hopefully we'll have very many guests who are coming to this show. We'll have this program running every Monday throughout the year. So it's going to be an exciting journey, and I hope you'll follow me in this journey, and I hope you get to learn. By the time we are closing the year, December 31st, 2025, you'll look back and actually say, I really learned something from that, or my life has changed because I was able to engage with this content. And maybe just to start off and sort of explain where FARM came from. So FARM stands from Financial Awareness with Martha. So of course, financial awareness then with me. And it's my labor of love because I got to learn about financial awareness the hard way, and I don't want to blame anyone because your level of exposure is based on where you position yourself. But from my personal experience, I got to learn about financial discipline a bit later in life. For sure, quite early for other people, but like if I state when I started talking about finance and financial awareness and just, how to mitigate bad habits that sort of remove you from the journey towards financial independence, someone might sit and say, I got to learn it a bit early because I was able to start working when I think I was 19. But I still feel I had a chance to know it way earlier, that financial discipline becomes part of the value that I work with. So right now, I'm still in the journey where I'm building disciplines and values around finance that will one day define who I am from a financial independence perspective. That someone will look back and say, I think she behaves this way because she's financially independent. And she's financially independent not because of cash flow only, but also because of the values she upholds. So when I look back, I see that I had an opportunity to learn earlier, but I didn't. And so financial awareness with Martha began when I joined TSAVO, a little bit later, so not in 2018, but probably around 2020, thereabout, 2019, 2020, because I got to be so passionate about this thing. And for us, our purpose is that financial independence. And I became so passionate about it because every decision that I wanted to make when I was that young girl, I kept being fought. I was around great mentors, Leonard Mcharo, Emily Mcharo, Jacqueline Masharia. These people really raised me because you can imagine I'm stepping into this new arena. I'm 19 years old, so I have all the dreams in my head, but they were able to sort of not limit my growth, but package me in a way that prepares me for what is to come. And so when I got here and I sort of got a grip of what financial independence is or was, I became very passionate about it, and I realized I need people to know this sooner. I need everyone in my life to sort of understand the importance of becoming financially independent, and not when you're 70, 80. No. The importance of actually building wealth even while you're young. And so that's how Financial Awareness with Martha began. And the story of Financial Awareness with Martha is very interesting because the reflection that I have back was when I was back in high school. I was in Lugulu Girls National School. I was in Lugulu, and it was a new experience because unfortunately I had just lost my parents, and I have moved to Western, and I have been a Nairobi girl all my life. So it was a very new experience. And I joined high school when people had already joined. So this was my second calling. Those things za kitambo. So you're called to the first school, then you're called to the second school. So Lugulu was my second calling. And so when I joined high school, I joined probably towards March, and people had joined in Jan. So you can imagine this new girl walking around, doesn't know where she is and all that. And so by the time I was getting into class, the culture shock the culture shock was like uko juu. So me, I decided, as I'm getting into this class, I'm looking for a girl who's from Nairobi or something like that. I was very biased. I'm sorry, I got to learn later. And I was also very lucky because once I picked my desk mate, I remember she was called Sonia. Once I picked my desk mate, we started bonding. Sonia was an exchange student, so she was not a student from Kenya. She was Kenyan, but she was not a student from Kenya. She had lived in China and she had come to Kenya, and Lugulu girls used to take like students who can't speak Swahili, because Swahili wasn't, I don't know if it wasn't mandatory, but it wasn't like a core, like core study that you're doing. And so she was picked for the exchange program. So I sat with Sonia, and after second term, Sonia is telling me, by the way, when you get pocket money, you save, so that when you go home, you're able to cater for your needs. And me, I'm there wondering, what do you mean? I'm in Form 1. Like me, the pocket money, me, I want to eat. Me, I don't want to eat githeri. So that pocket money will come in handy so that I'm able to take it to the canteen. And she kept telling me, no, you need something to cater for your needs. And I couldn't understand. So that time, Village Market we were calling it Vima. It was the thing. So she kept telling me, when we go to Nairobi, even if you want to have a date, you can come to Village Market and you don't need to ask for money. And if you don't ask for money, your parents feel that like you're responsible enough and they can even give you permission to be out. But I didn't grasp it. And it's because I was brought up in a society where nobody talked about money. It became a very difficult conversation. And if you're talking about money, you're talking about e-pesa near school fees, or e-pesa it's going to do this and this, or we don't have enough money, or you'll just see gifts. Like my mom now, who is my aunt, my mom is her love language is gifting. And so she will not talk about money, but she'll bring the gifts, she'll come home with something. And so we never had an opportunity to understand money as a concept, or rather as as something that you need in your journey towards financial independence. And so whatever Sonia kept telling me, I was wondering, what are those things? And by the way, she left, we didn't finish with her Form 4, so all her knowledge about, sorting your own personal needs left with her, and I was there till Form 4. And when I finished Form 4, I was determined. I knew I wanted to do med, because in my mother's dying bed, she wanted me to be a physician or in medicine. So I knew after high school, I want to go and do medicine. And so I walked to University of Nairobi. And wakaniambia, mama, your grades are good, but this one, mathematics, unless you start from, there was something, like it wasn't a degree. I think I was to start somewhere, which didn't make sense. And I wasn't even to start medicine. I was supposed to do clinical something. Then I like a diploma. Then I do, it was just a long story which didn't make sense because my grades were still getting me into university. So from the turn back in University of Nairobi, I decided, let me walk to Daystar. And you can imagine, when you're young, I don't say you're broke, but you do not fancy money that way. And so you wouldn't think I need to panda an Uber or something. Kwanza your time there was no Uber. So like I walked from University of Nairobi, I walked to Daystar Valley Road. I didn't know what I was going to do, but I knew my calling was there. And so when I got to Daystar, I told them what I'm passionate about. And that guy just told me, apply for this and this. And I didn't know. I applied for communications with IT. Did I know what that was? Nope. But I applied, I got into Daystar, and luckily I was able to now start my journey fiercely. Now fiercely I'm saying, because you remember the conversations with Sonia from Form 1, I didn't carry anything. So fiercely is because I've now realized this is what I want to do in life. So when I went to Daystar, I went to Daystar Three River. And when I went to Daystar, you start life, your parents sort you out. I really thank God for my family. My family is the most supportive family you could ever have. So my dreams were never shattered. Nobody ever questioned, why have you gone to Daystar? You can imagine, like if you have relars, these are not your biological parents. Why would they pay for you private and you've been called to Kenyatta University? But nobody questioned my dream. Nobody questioned my thought process around my application in Daystar. I just applied. And they were happy that I wanted to study. And so when I went to Daystar, I realized I need to position myself in positions, where you get networks, where you understand what is happening. So I was everywhere. I think for those who will see this and they were in Daystar, they know I was everywhere. I was doing drama, I was leadership, I was doing everything possible. And you can imagine you're in campus, so people in Campo want just chill. I decided, I'm not chilling, I'm here to get the ball rolling. And so I was doing a lot of things. I realized my passion in media, so I was in radio. I was everywhere. And so when like later on, so say second year there, things started to change in a way, because when you're at home, you're fully reliant on your parents. And so when my mom, I think at some point she lost her job for like a year. And you know, if you're working in these NGOs, ukipoteza hiyo pesa inaweza enda ikienda. So in that 1 year, we needed to find out how are we retaining our lifestyles. And not for her, for me. Yeah, ameshani sort. Me, I'm paid for school fees. My house is paid for. Like everything was catered for. But I had a lifestyle that I had already built for myself. You know, I knew this pocket money has to come every month. And I lived big. Like I knew, hey, this money is coming. I need to eat that money so that next month I have space for more money. So that's how I used to live. And when the job thing happened, I realized I can actually start doing side hustles. And I remember, even my friend doesn't know this, but I met one of my friends who were with him in primary. I have very many friends from primary. So I was with this guy in primary, and I shout out to him. He has now a global company. It's interesting to see how people grow. He's called Odidi, you know, Derek, we used to call him OJ. So, and OJ, we started talking. We weren't talking before, but, you know, we just happened to meet somewhere, and we started talking, and he told me the way he's doing biashara. He used to import shoes from China, and he was selling them to MPs. And I'm like, yo, me, I want that business. Like, what do you mean? Me, I can do this deal. And so we did the first, I think, import, then we did the deal and I made money. But I realized that's because you see, I'm in Athi. Like, how am I coming from Athi to town to sell shoes? It didn't make sense. Like, I'm too far. So I realized I needed to start like practicing things that I can sell within the market I am in. So it doesn't make sense if I'm making money to use it on transport to come to Nairobi and go back. And so I started doing hair, I started doing funny things. I used to mix jik. I used to sell soap. Na say you're not selling to students, you're selling to those mama fuas. So when they come, you're there in your room mixing things and putting them in bottles. You'd think I'm a chemistry person. So like I would package those things and then nikaanza kupata shida ya kifua. Yani all problems. You start something, another thing happens. Because of course, if you're mixing chemicals in your room, what are you breathing? Fumes. So that went south. It went well until it went south. And in that period, and you know, when it rains, it pours. So in that season, I think now this is 2017 actually, there was a problem in Daystar. And where I used to stay, which luckily is TSAVO's first project. It's called Orange County. It's in Athi. That time, you know, that's why I was living the good life, because the lifestyle, TSAVO lifestyle, why? So when there was a challenge with students in Daystar in that particular in 2017, there was a dip in residents in Orange County. And that is how life is. You have to embrace life that way, knowing that there's a possibility that anything can happen, even the ones that you've planned the most. And so when there was a dip in students, Mcharo came that time, you know, me, I just knew him as the owner of OC. So Mcharo came, he was trying to strategize and see, how do we get this thing back? And I realized they were willing to offer anything to get people in. And there was a unit which was very strategic, and it was like a smaller unit, so it was slightly cheaper. But there was a unit there that was strategically placed, you know, when you enter the entrance and pass the pool, so up or two. And if I had an opportunity to market for residents to these people, I was like, you know what, they can give me that unit. I start a business, and then, you know, along the way, they give me like probably like a 2 months break. I start running the business, and then I market for people who are coming to Daystar, whether you're a new student or you're looking to move outside or you're in another apartment and you just want to be part of OC. Because it was like a community. And so there was a lady called Grace. That time Grace was managing the OC. And so I told Grace, me, I'm a strategist. We can sit down and find a plan. And me, I was trusting. Me, I didn't know this was going to happen like that. So Grace came. She came all the way to Athi. We met. I told her, I have an idea. I can open a laundromat here, because there was no shop. The only shop was a katak shop at the door. There was nothing else. So I told her, students don't like washing for themselves, and these people can afford like laundry services. I can open a laundromat here. You give me a 2 months break so that the business can peak, and I will be able to pay you and pay rent moving forward every month. And that's how I began. Because me, I was pitching. Me, I didn't know if it was real. But before I pitched, so see, I've pitched for Grace and she has accepted. Then luckily, there was a foundation going on for young people. And that foundation was called Kate Actress Foundation. So Kate Actress, she had a foundation for young people. And Kate Actress had posted, so Maki, I've spoken to Grace. I don't know where I'm getting even a machine. Me, I've just spoken to Grace until we've made a deal. Kate Actress posted on her Instagram. She said, if you're a young person, you're a youth, you're looking for funding, I'm willing to support as long as you have a legitimate business. And I DM'd her. You can imagine those days, I didn't even have a following on Instagram. I was no one, but I DM'd her and I told her, this is my business plan, this is why I'm doing it, this is the target market I have, and guess what? I got funding. And that time, we were being given cash. So I was called, I got, I think 20K, like in cash. And then now I got exposure because she now, as she's sponsoring you, she wanted to know, what are you doing with your life? What do you want to do? Like, what are you passionate about? And me, I told her, I wanted to MC. And there was the first East African event where Kansime came and I MC'd. You can imagine, I was not even 18 years. I was very young, but I was given an opportunity to MC just because I was part of Kate Actress Foundation. And so after that event, so I went back to Athi and I realized, yes, I have 20K, but this is not enough. But I had a cousin who is like my brother who was working in Safaricom, and I called him and I told him, may I have a business idea? You give me this capital, me I need to buy a machine. And I bought one machine, and that machine, I used it till when I opened my business in Roysambu. That one machine, it was not atile dryer, no. You know the top ones, zile za unapack manguo, then zikioshwa unakamua na mkono, you put to the other side. That is the one machine. It was 19,000. I bought that machine and I started the business. And that's how I got to understand that there are very many occasions where you can see an opportunity and make big out of it. However, if you do not have the mental capacity to understand the dealings of money, you will not go anywhere. Because you can imagine if I had that mindset that Sonia was giving me back in I don't know, those years when I was in high school, you can imagine what could have been of me. That if I had built that mindset, by the time I was leaving high school, guaranteed I would be a millionaire, billionaire. I would have created a business that actually does not maybe even exist, or a solution for a business that is, a solution that is needed in the country. And so, as we start this journey of financial awareness with Martha, we are starting at a point of vulnerability that if you're not aware, don't be shy. Because I could have known about finance earlier, I could have known it about it later. There are people who know it when they're 13, there are people who know it when they're 40. There is no harm in knowing or not knowing. However, how dedicated are you to understand and pick lessons and ask the right questions to ensure that 5 years, 10 years down the line, as we are talking about TSAVO at 20, you are seeing what this information has done to you and to your personal financial independence journey. So it's going to be a great experience. We're going to share everything. We're all going to be vulnerable. I think we'll host as many people as possible here so that we are financially aware, but also the solutions we offer are beyond what you see about TSAVO. Because TSAVO, the AAA is just the trading good. But the story is in the financial independence. It is in your mind that you're able to influence your mind to think like an investor and not a buyer. So I'm so excited to see where this journey will take us. Every Monday you'll be seeing this episode. So yeah, ebu muone and stick with financial awareness with Martha. Till next time.